Hello there. I would like to share with you my experience with the IC7300 radio, and it might be the case with other radios as well, but this is a full SDR transceiver, and this is what I have noticed, which is expected of course, but I wanted to show you that. Now I'm having the radio not connected to any antenna. The antenna is fully disconnected, and let me switch on the audio to the middle point, okay, but also I could do it to the maximum point here, but let's do it on the middle just to be able to hear me better. Now the RF gain here is set to max, and without any antenna, this is the noise that you hear. Let me put it all the way to the end. That's the noise that you hear. And the weird thing is that this noise is not affected by any reduction in the RF gain. So let me switch the RF gain all the way up, all the way down. You see? Nothing at all. And it does not even affected by any attenuator setting. So I'm just switching on the attenuator here. Nothing. Let me switch the audio back to maximum. I'm gonna talk closer to the microphone so you can hopefully hear me better now. So this is the audio at maximum. The attenuator switched on, and now I switch off the attenuator. You see? Oh, sorry, this is the amplifier. Here's the attenuator, and now switched off. Nothing. And now I have the RF gain to minimum, and I'm going to maximum. This is the squelch. This is maximum RF gain. Nothing, no effect. The noise is still there. So, in contrast, if I use my older Foxtrot Tango 902 Delta mic radio, let me switch the RF to maximum here and the audio to maximum. Now again, the noise is similar to the IC7300, but notice what I can do when I switch the RF gain to minimum. When I set the RF gain to minimum, notice the sound. You see? Now I'm with the RF gain at minimum. And this is basically, and the audio to maximum. And this is actually the noise of the radio, just the audio, the noise of the audio amplifier. I'm going the camera close to the speaker. I don't know if you can hear it. We're at maximum volume here. Here is air splitting volume. And the RF is all the way down. So this is the actual noise of the audio amplifier. And when I switch the RF gain up, gradually, you start hearing the band noise. Not the band noise actually, the RF noise of the transceiver itself. Note that we are at maximum volume now, maximum audio volume. Okay, let us switch the audio at lower values. So this is real RF gain, guys, here. This is a real RF gain here. Okay, and the noise of the audio amplifier is much less. Now, if we go back to the IC7300 and switch it on again, without any antenna, maximum audio, but let me also put the audio around here so you can hear me probably better. Now these controls here, the RF gain, have absolutely no way of reducing the transceiver noise, the receiver noise in here. These are absolutely useless for that thing. This is not a real RF gain. This is not how RF gain should behave. Okay, and not even the attenuator. This is not a real attenuator here. It doesn't interfere with the front end of the receiver. It's just noisy. Now the maximum noise here, when the audio amplifier is switched all the way to the right, to maximum, the audio, it's similar to the noise produced by the Foxtrot Tango 902 Delta mic when the RF gain is switched all the way to the maximum and the AF gain is switched all the way to the maximum. However, in that transceiver, the RF gain did have a dramatic effect on the overall noise you hear from the receiver, whereas here it doesn't have any effect. It only has effect on the real signals, no effect on the noise generated by the transceiver itself. So there is no way that you can set this transceiver here, its receiver, to be more quiet. So what we usually do sometimes is we back up the RF gain and the noise of the transceiver and also the noise of the band is going down, so we can hear those signals, those actual signals, better. Our ears and brain do not suffer much from that noise, and we can distinguish the audio better, okay, the voices. But there is absolutely no way you can do this with IC7300. I bet this is the case with many of these transceivers, modern SDR transceivers. I bet this is the case, right? So this is a quite noisy transceiver that cannot be set to lower noise, whereas the much older rig has almost the same noise, let's say, but it can be set to much lower noise levels, okay? And I wanted to show you this, guys, because I think it's really important as far as concerns the reception to be able to set your transceiver so that you cancel its own noise, okay? I'm not talking here about how noisy the receiver is. The first amplifier might be, for example, in receiving get confused, let's say, by the different signals, the dynamic range on the air of the signals and these things, and the birdies that are produced, etc., etc. I'm just considering here the noise generated by the receivers of these machines themselves. Okay, I have no antennas connected here. So I think it's quite important to note that when you absolutely need the maximum out of your receiver performance, this one is not a good performer. Okay, it might be very nice to have a new rig with all the features and all these things, but when you're considering the actual reception, this cannot be set to be quiet. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Just a quick update here, just to be fair, I noticed that when I switch on the first amplifier, now this is without the amplifier, but when I switched on the first amplifier, the noise goes down. Again, I have no action here in the RF gain that lowers down the noise, but the noise goes down. And let me switch off the amplifier, and let's go to the function and disable the IP+. You see? The noise goes down again. So the IP+ is causing lots of noise here internally generated in the receiver. Now let's go from that point, the audio volume is maximum, and enable the first amplifier or the second. Now I don't see any change here. So I'm going to enable the IP Plus again, and then enable the first amplifier. The noise goes down, and then let's disable the IP Plus. Okay, the noise is now even further down. Let's disable the amplifier and enable the first amplifier. Yeah, it's a little bit more just a little bit of better noise. So it seems actually that the best position for that rig is to operate it with the first amplifier on and then the IP Plus disabled. Look at the difference. There's a huge difference here. But yet, of course, the RF gain doesn't have any effect here. No, maybe just a little bit. It doesn't have any effect. And let's see at the attenuator. Let's enable the amplifier. No, no effect here. So I think the best position to achieve the lowest noise generated internally by the IC7300 is with the first amplifier on and with the IP Plus off. There's a huge difference, look at that. Okay, now I have not compared that to how it actually behaves on signals. I suspect that with the first amplifier on, the signals will be better, of course. Now we have disabled the IP Plus function, so we could achieve a little bit worse the intermodulation, but generally you achieve less noise with those settings. But again, you have the disadvantage that your RF gain does not affect the noise generated by the transceiver. But I think it's interesting to note that. Okay, thank you very much for watching.